This video is a reflection video of the entire Applied Digital Learning course as a whole and my progress thus far. At first, I realized I was going to have a lot of choice and ownership over what I was doing and how I was going to do it. In the first project, the first class, we were to create a timeline or a video showing what our plan was and how we wanted to accomplish that. Throughout that first project, I realized I was going to have a lot of ability to tailor my own learning, my own study to what I wanted to accomplish, whether it's my career, my specific classroom, my school with all my teachers, or the district as a whole. To complete those assignments, I looked at other people's examples of their portfolios and what they created, then tried to actually talk with my classmates of how to refine those ideas, and then trying to think of like how can I apply that to my current ePortfolio innovation plan. So I don't think it's to actually take control of your own voice and to show that. I think it's a very innate ability. I think of like what I wanted to do, what I wanted to show, how I wanted to show my learning. So I think it's a very innate ability. The same thing with change. I think it's to be able to see like, okay, well that didn't work. But I think the real trick of learning as a whole is trying to reflect on that. Of like reflect on what didn't learn or what didn't happen, what didn't change, and how it didn't work, and think of like how can I actually make that better. I think that's a trick, and to think of like okay, what our goal is of how to make it better, and there was small steps to make that goal a reality. Right? I think that's a real trick, and I think there was a specific class that was geared towards it. I think we actually looked at our professional development and how there's some things that weren't really good about it, I guess, and they didn't really seem applicable to our current position, and then how to make it more effective, right? So what needs to happen to make them more effective? What's the steps? I think my innovation plan was very authentic. I was able to apply to my current position over creating portfolios, over what I did, showcase what they learned, what projects they did, then talk about with my administrators over what they need to accomplish, what are the goals of the ePortfolio. So I think using COVA, which stands for Choice, Ownership, Voice, and Authentic Learning, and CSLE, stands for Creating Significant Learning Environments, is essential to the success and the continuation of my innovation plan, which it will basically, for all students 3 through 12, create a portfolio that showcases all their learning and that tracks their progress. Like for instance, in reading, if they create a video of their reading fluency at the beginning of school and then do it again, the reading fluency at the end of school, the students can see how they progressed. And also from grade to grade, right now there's a little bit of lacking transition right there, and they lose the progress of the students. And the teacher can actually see like where they started, where they're lacking, to where they need to go. So I think that's going to be helpful when transitioning from grade to grade, especially when it goes from like middle school to high school, right? And the only difference in my learning philosophy was the importance of how effective training and coaching is very effective with educators, because any kind of change we do in education has to start with our educators that trickles down to students and what they're applying and what they're learning and putting on their ePortfolio. So to actually make this more effective in my professional development plan was actually to have teachers, whatever platform they're creating, like think 3 through 5 they're creating using a Seesaw, and 6 through 10 they're creating a Google site, and then 11 and 12 they're creating a Wix site. So whatever their grade they're teaching, the teacher need to create a portfolio in that same platform that allows them to see what needs to happen, what are some troubleshooting issues, like whether they're putting a video on there or whether they're putting a drawing or a reflection paper, those kind of things. The ideas and different things they need to incorporate they will learn, I guess, whenever they try to teach that to students. So in my current teaching position as a graphic design tutor at a CT center, I was able to use that kind of like tailor my projects to what is a real life thing they would be doing in a career environment. And also they have like they can compete in different things they're doing, like different projects and stuff. They can actually showcase those projects, whether they're creating a flyer, they're creating those things. So my class, they created specific things that they can showcase their learning. So the only challenge that I kind of foresee was basically around the technical aspect. I think that's why it's important for the teachers to create their own portfolio to kind of see those in advance, right? But I think there'll still be some issues where like trying to implementing some portfolios and like seeing of how to put the information on their portfolio. I think is one of the main hurdles I think would foresee. Thanks for watching.